Hey folks, it's Walt Wilson, and I thought we'd do something fun today. Okay, I'm into programming. Like in computer programming, I design and build control systems at my work, and I'm also into network marketing. And I thought, well, what can I do to kind of mesh the two together? And I thought about it, and I thought, well, why don't we try and write a program that can help us network marketers, such as like, let's say, wouldn't you like a program that would basically check all the pictures in a folder and give you the pixel size, let's say the width and the height, for all the pictures you have in the folder? I thought that would be kind of good because that way, if you're looking for something for Facebook or a cover picture or something for your business, you need a certain size and you might have all these pictures, but you don't know what size they are. Anyway, this is just maybe a start, okay? So let's see what we can do. Just to let you know, I'm into using Visual Basic. Let's see, VisualBasic.net, because at my work, I use both C#, C++, and VisualBasic.net. But for the most part, I use Visual Basic because that's what I work with. So I'm going to start off a new project, and let's call it. Let's see. I'm going to call it check picture size 1. It's got to be a Windows Form application, okay? And we'll start out with that. Okay, so we got ourselves our platform here. This is what we're going to be looking at. So the first thing you always do is you start off with a couple buttons, right? You want a button here and a second button. So these buttons are going to be your start and exit, okay? So let's go over here with button 1. I usually like to rename them. Let's see. This will be command start. Let's change the actual text on there. Let's call it start. And why don't we change the font? Let's make it a little bit bigger. How about 12? And I also kind of like the color change. Give it a little life, And we go to custom green. How's that? You can see that we need to expand the size a bit. Okay. So why don't we go for button 2? And I always start out with command. If it's a button, I go command and then, call it whatever the name is going to be, exit. So let's change the text on there. Let's call it exit. And let's change the font. Go back to 12. We can hard code this in the program, or we can set it permanently on the side here in the properties. That's what's nice about this program, and for most programs out there. So we want to change the color, right? Let's go with, how about a red? Okay. Now we're done in that sense. So I'm going to double click on start. That'll open up the code page. And I'm going to check something real quick here. Okay, good. We're still there. Okay, so at this point I'm going to start writing the code. The first thing we got to know, folks, is that we're going to be dealing with directories and files and all that. So we have to import some namespaces, okay? And I'll show you how to do that. You basically import system.io, this one, and we got to import system. What is it? Oh, it's drawing. Yeah, drawing. Okay, so we got those two. Now that opens up a bunch of classes. Okay, you can go into here. I'll show you really quick. Object browser. You got a ton of namespaces to use here. So we use, let's say, system.io, which is right here. Open that up. Now look at all this stuff you have, like directory info. You got all these methods and classes you can use, file. You can basically do pretty much just everything with this whole thing, okay? Okay, so anyway, let's go back to our... Okay, so we're going to start writing some code. Basically, this is the public class form 1, which is the main form, and here is the command start button, which we clicked. Okay, so we're going to make some room here. And at this point, we're going to dimension a couple of variables. So let's see, I'm going to dimension one called folder info as new directory. Directory info. Directory info. Let's see. Because we're gonna, I created a folder called picked. Okay, so that's where our stuff is going to be. So there's the folder information. We're going to create another variable called file count to see how many files we have in there, because you got to tell the program, you know, to find these files. Info. Folder info. We gotta get those files, right? So let's see. We gotta find one that's get files. I think. Let's see. Get files. There it is, right there. And we're gonna be getting all the JPEG files. You can actually look for anything you want. It's just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so we got our two variables. Perfect. Now, what we need to do is create a list box, right? So we can see our stuff. So we got to go to the toolbox, and let's go down here. There's a list box, list view. Let's use list view because that's kind of fairly new. It's got more features than list box. And let's create it right there, and it's called list view 1. All right. And so let's go back to our code here, and let's start writing list view 1 dot. Okay, see, when you click the dot, all the methods come listed under there. So you want to view, right? View. Okay, we want to equal it to what? What do we want it to do? We want to view the details. So we want to view dot. It's not taking this for some reason. Let me see what I need to do. I'm gonna have to dimension list new list. It still doesn't do it. What data grid? That's what the error is. Well, maybe this is what I need to do. 1.view dot details. There it is. Let's get rid of this. Replace list view 1 with view. Okay, so I thought that's what I did originally. There it is. Okay. That's kind of odd. I'm not sure why I had to go through that. Okay, so at this point we're gonna we want grid lines on our list view, right? So we want to see list view grid lines. Grid lines. Okay, we want to set that as true because we want them to show up. Okay, looks good. Okay, so now the fun part comes. We're gonna write some text saying for each loop, for each file, write down width and height. See, these are comments. So now we're going to go for each file as file info because that's our variable, right? There it is. And it's in file count, right? There it is. Okay, see now we got our next. Perfect. It looks great. So we got to dimension another variable here called, we can name it anything, but let's call it BNP. Dimension BNP as new bitmap. There it is. See how fun this is? I mean, you can just start creating all kinds of stuff. Okay, file. What do we need? We need the full name. Let's see. There it is right there, full name. See, when you click down and there's no errors, you know your code is right. So we dimension that. Now, this is the main command here. We're going to basically command it to list. Let me check something really quick. Okay, we're still on. Okay, so at this point we're going to do this. List view1 dot items, because of the items that we want to add, right? We want to add the file, the full name, and we want to also basically add some text, right? Like the width, and of course the actual value dot width dot to string, because that converts it to a string, right? And at this point we're going to add the height. See how I'm doing this? Now we look for the height, which is right there. And we convert this to string, which is right there. See? Oh man, this is beautiful. Okay, so I think we're almost ready. We got the next. I think we're ready. Okay, so why don't we try and run this thing? I'm not sure. Oh, we still forgot one thing, I think. Yeah, our exit. Okay. Let's program our exit, because it's always good to have an exit. Let's go back here. Let's double click. See, since this is a very simple program, I'm just going to write end, because that's your command to end. I don't have to end another program or anything, so it'll be just a simple end command. Okay, we're ready. So let's try it. Let's see what we got. And that doesn't seem to work. Let's see, why don't we debug it? I'll stop it right at the command start here. So program starts, I click on start. There it is. So I press F11 to go down. Okay, let's see what our file count is. File count is 2. Okay, we got 2 pictures in there. So that's working. Grid lines are true for each file. Let's see. This full name. Okay, so that's the first one. List, add items. See picture. Okay, sure, that should work. Click on that. Yeah, we got that line picture first. Okay, so there's another picture, and this one is okay. So we should have something right here, but it doesn't. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what we gotta do. Why don't we, this will help here. Let's get rid of this. Continue running it. No, that's not doing it. I'm trying to debug this, folks, as you can tell. It's actually, the code is working, but it's not placing it on the list view for some reason. That is list view 1, isn't it? There's list view 1 here. Let's go up to columns. Add a column just for the sake of it. Let's just add one. Okay, let's run it now. I'm not sure what this will do, but oh, we got something. There it is. There's your information. Okay, so what we got to do, Okay, so I got to modify this somehow, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, remove that column. Okay, and then I'll try it again. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to do that. I guess what I need to do is find out exactly where the problem lies. I think by adding a column, it'll work. But you could see that I have two pictures in my folder, and there they are right there. Okay, so basically a line JPEG and a test one JPEG, and it tells you the width and the height in pixels of each one. Okay, and I'll show you the actual pictures right here. It's in my C drive. It's under picked. Where's okay, those are the two. You can tell that the line is a little bit narrower and taller. So let's see, that's the data we got. The line is a little narrower. Yeah, 222 versus 263, and a little taller. 227 versus 191. See, there it goes. Alright, folks. Anyway, that was the lesson for today. I'll go ahead and create, just to let you know, if you want to create an executable, you go to the code, and at this point you build picture 1 right here, and that creates an executable, a .exe file, which you can actually use it on any application, and it's a standalone, so you can send that file to any of your friends so they can use it and whatnot. Okay, so anyway, that's the lesson for today. Please comment on this. I really need your comments to see if you want any more, or if you want anything special as far as any special applications built. Let me know and I'll work on them. Okay. All right, folks. And by the way, if you're interested in making some residual income, go to wowthatrules.com and I'll send you all kinds of information. Okay, and I'll have that information on the bottom of this email. Okay. All right, folks. Well, have a good time and have a great 2014, and I will be talking to you soon. Okay? All right, folks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.